maybe a little hard to hear me over all this rain, but I wanted to bring you guys out to another initial D location. I was trying to do one while I'm in Japan. Last time when I was here in January, I did Mount Kina. This one I'm doing Team Emperors. So this is one of the Evo ones. I'm gonna run through. I'm gonna show you and just give you a regular drive through. It's kind of funny because being out today was a typhoon warning day, so there's an absolute ton of rain, there's a ton of water, all the roads have like standing and running water going across them, so it's kind of funny because it actually reminds me of like one of the initial D challenges, you know, and how it was never just, it's never just one-on-one. You know, there's always something else in the mix. There's always water. There's always, I don't know, somebody, you know, puts oil on the road to, you know, wreck one of the cars. They had a couple ones where they actually ran in the rain. There was the one against the 8.6 versus the 240, and that was, you know, one of them, he was like, I always run in the rain. I'm so used to running in the rain. I can beat them in the rain, you know, and they love driving in the rain because it uses up less tire. There's, you know, it's easier to step the car out so you don't need as much power or anything else. But yeah, so this kind of reminds me of that. It's interesting to me because, one, I didn't realize it was a one-way road. So, you know, watching the anime, looking up the location, that kind of stuff, I just, you know, I would see the windy road and just, I didn't realize that it's one way. One way makes it really cool because you don't have to worry about oncoming traffic. You can also tell that I'm used to driving in the US, so being a one-way road and in this section it's 2 lanes, I'm more comfortable driving on the right-hand side, so that's what I've been doing. But yeah, so it's interesting that it's a one-way road, because running up and down this would actually make it so much easier not having to worry about traffic. And at least in this section, it's 2 lanes, which means this part's wide open and would be relatively easy to pass. The main section, which we'll get to that in just a few minutes as we go through like the little city area, the little town. Once we go through that goes down into the tight section. It's only 1 lane, and I guess tight section is an understatement because there's barely enough room to get on throttle between corners. So I can imagine if you're trying to run this at speed, like this section I'm going through right here, which is like the lower section. This would be easy as a hill climb. There's enough space in between the corners that you can get on throttle. The corners themselves, because it's 2 lanes, are a little wider. So again, it's not too bad. On the downhill section, is so tight. Like I'll show you guys as I'm there. The downhill section, like there is enough room to like carry some speed through the corner, but the corner's a full 180, and then as you try and carry speed through it, you have just enough time to try and straighten it out, blip the throttle, or just flick it and bring it back the other direction to slide it through the next corner. This section through here, I would say is a drifter's dream, especially if you had more power since it's going uphill. The other section being as tight as it is, if you were good enough, I would say you could continually run almost every single one of those corners without without losing or maintaining your slide the entire time. But I'll flip. I'll show you kind of both ends of it and kind of run through it real quick for you. I'll speed it up a little bit. I am by no means flying through this section. There's so much water, and I'm not gonna wreck a rental car. So I can see how you could very, very easily miss a corner, put it in the wall, miss a corner, put it in a guardrail, or on the way down, there were some spots where you could definitely go through that guardrail and keep on going. But I would have to say this is, so far in Japan, this is probably the most technical, and for me probably one of the coolest because of just how technical all the corners, all the turns and everything else are. We're gonna get up to the top, come back down through the downhill section. I'll show you guys the downhill section. You guys let me know what you think. Alright guys, so this is going to be the downhill section. This to me is absolutely crazy. There's a couple spots that's a little bit wider, but it narrows really, really fast. So we'll branch in the road. So whoever the lead car is going down has the ultimate advantage because each one of these corners is extremely, extremely tight, and then in between each corner, towards the top part of the downhill section, there's a little bit more room for throttle, so you can technically get on throttle for a little bit longer. But you can see by how aggressive the turns are, like, you don't have a lot of time to be on throttle. Like, you come around the corner, blip the throttle just kind of enough, and it's that game of how long can I stay in the throttle without overshooting one of the next corners. Because even in a slightly longer section that you know is spaced or gapped in between the corners, it's still not straight. You know, it's still curvy, and it's not a straight run by any means. So cool, I can get on throttle, but like, how long can I actually stay on throttle and still make the corner or not push the car into one of the walls? So like I said, I really enjoy this is super cool to me. I love a really technical, well, I would say course, but you know, we're not on the track, so a really technical canyon, or in this case a Touge road. It's really fun. Like, this one isn't about pure speed. This one's about getting through the corners and being able to get back on throttle as soon as possible, and then back into the brakes, corner, back into throttle. Each one of these corners, I think, would be like a really cool challenge in between a drift style car and a grip style car. So it could be a front wheel drive versus a rear wheel drive. The rear wheel drive is going to want to swing it out in every corner, is going to want to basically drift every corner, but drifting absolutely every corner isn't necessarily going to be the fastest way around. But now on the other hand, in a front wheel drive, your car, after 3, 4, or 5 of these corners, is going to want to understeer horribly. So I think this hill right here, or this Touge right here, would be the absolute best challenge in between like a front wheel drive and a rear wheel drive, or you know, a grip driver versus a drifter. So like I said, I really enjoy how technical it is. I hope you guys can hear me well enough with all the rain and everything. It's like I was saying, it's kind of entertaining that we're out here doing this during like a typhoon and, you know, all of this wind and rain and everything, because it really does feel like an initial D stage. It feels like one of those extra challenges, you know, where you're not just going against your opponent, but you're going against the course itself too. So, I mean, I've got water running across the road. I've got debris in the road at this point. So it's pretty cool. I found that going through both sections, including kind of the little town area, you can do both sections at a slow speed, which is where I'm at right now, in less than 15 minutes. So I'd imagine if you were doing this at speed, each section would probably only take you maybe 3 minutes. Like, to get through these sections, I guarantee it would be super fast. So to line up a couple cars and to make this run like they do in Initial D, you know, you'd be through the downhill in the matter of minutes, if even that. So I can only imagine just how like white-knuckled and how much pressure it is for them to run this. The uphill had bumps and everything else, which, you know, helps prevent, you know, drifters and everybody kind of sliding through them because it off-settles the car. But the downhill section, this downhill section doesn't have anything. So I don't see a bunch of marks in the road. So I think maybe they had this closed off at night or something. I'm not sure. I'd have to, maybe somebody can chime in that's a local, or, you know, that's come up here in the middle of the night. This in the middle of the night would be kind of scary, dude. It would be a lot of fun. I can't say it wouldn't be fun. I'd have a blast. But we're almost through this downhill section. You guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you like these. If the weather was better, I would have put some cameras on the outside and kind of ran them through the outside. I did that for the Akina run that I did. I threw one of the cameras outside on the Nismo that I was driving. So if you guys want to see that, that's one of my other videos from when I was out here in Japan in January. But every time I come out, I'm going to try and do one of these videos for you guys, show you these Initial D locations, show you what, you know, what the Touge roads are all about. So you guys, let me know what you think. Drop those comments below. Let me know if you like this, if you want me to hit another one specifically, or if there's, you know, a certain team that you like better, you know, a certain Touge road that you want me to do when I'm out here, and I'll try and do it. I've been trying to line up at least one or two every time I come out. I always have a rental car now, so the opportunity is definitely there to be able to do it. But yeah, so you guys let me know. I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you all enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I got a ton of good stuff from Japan, and I'm always coming back for more. So I'll see you guys at the next one. Let me make sure I make it through the corner. There we go. All right, I'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks.